Okay, so today we're diving into something I think we've all probably experienced at some point, and it can
Mhm.
be a little frustrating.
Yeah,
Product sunsetting,
right.
end of life.
Mhm.
When a company basically says, all right, this product, it's done,
Yep.
no more.
That's it. We're moving on.
Yeah, and I think um, I've definitely felt that pang of like, oh, come on. I like that.
Yeah.
But we found this article, and it takes a totally different approach to product sunsetting.
Interesting.
Yeah, it kind of flips the script and highlights some of the potential opportunities that can come out of these end-of-life announcements.
I like that, looking at the bright side.
Exactly. So we're going to unpack that today. We're going to explore, we're going to look at like three key reasons why product sunsetting might not be the end of the world.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it might actually be a good thing.
All right, let's hear it.
So the first reason that this article uh, talks about is how technology just sometimes, and I think we all know this intuitively, moves faster than companies can maintain older products,
Right.
right? Like imagine,
Yeah.
trying to run a modern AI program on like a computer from the
Oh,
90s.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally. It's just not going to happen.
Not going to cut it.
No.
So, I mean, we've seen this in all kinds of things, programming languages, operating systems.
Absolutely, yeah.
Uh,
Even like entire hardware platforms. I mean, think about,
yeah.
they just reach a point where they become obsolete.
Right.
And, you can patch things up, but it's only delaying the inevitable.
Right.
And at a certain point, it's just better to kind of embrace what's new and what's coming.
Right. It's like it's less about clinging to that sinking ship
Yeah.
and more about, you know,
Hopping on that rocket.
launching a rocket. I
Exactly,
love
to
it.
something new.
But I mean, what about the companies, that are still using those older systems?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
real challenge.
Right. Because
Yeah.
it's not like they can just sort of flip a switch and upgrade everything overnight.
Right. No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not an easy transition. It can be really tough.
Right.
But, this article makes the point that sometimes these end-of-life announcements, as tough as they are,
Yeah.
can actually force companies to make those changes that
Oh,
they've been putting off.
okay. Yeah.
They need to make those investments in solutions that will benefit them in the long run.
So it's like it can be like a catalyst almost.
I think so, yeah. Instead of a roadblock.
Yeah.
It can be like, okay, now we have to do this thing.
Right. We have no.
We've been putting it off, but now's the time.
It's time to, yeah, rip the Band-Aid off. And
And actually, that might end up being better for them.
right. So it's less about, like we were saying, clinging to the past, and it's more about embracing the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And this leads us to kind of the second reason why this might not be a bad thing, which is, I think we all know this. Sometimes it just comes down to good old-fashioned business decisions.
Yeah. Dollars and cents.
I mean, sometimes, yeah.
Right.
Supporting legacy systems can be really expensive.
Yeah, I bet.
You've got development teams, you've got to keep putting out security updates, you've got to have customer support for it. It all adds up.
Right.
And so companies really have to look at it and say, okay, is it more profitable for us to continue maintaining this thing,
Right.
or should we be investing in something new?
Right.
And sometimes it's a tough decision.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, especially when you've got, customers who maybe have been using a product for a long time and they rely on it.
Right. And that loyalty is important.
Yeah.
And ethically, I think, there's a strong argument to be made that companies should support their products as.
This audio session is brought to you by Corevist, your go-to B2B e-commerce platform for manufacturers using SAP. Whether you run ECC, S/4HANA, or are migrating to clean core operations with SAP BTP, Corevist integrates seamlessly with your ERP, enhancing customer experiences and streamlining operations. Ready to transform your e-commerce strategy? Visit corevist.com to learn more.
Long as possible.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, businesses also have to adapt to survive.
Right.
And sometimes that means making tough choices.
Yeah. So it's almost like, in a way, it's prioritizing resources
Yeah.
to create something even better down the line.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe that new product wouldn't even be possible without letting go of the old one.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And that kind of leads us to the third reason, and maybe the most interesting one,
Okay.
which is the potential for really transformative change.
So I think the article mentioned a company, Parker Lord, I think it was.
Yeah, Parker Lord.
And they had this like ancient B2B portal.
Right. It was really on its last legs.
Yeah, it was kind of on the way out.
They were facing a major end-of-life situation,
Yeah.
but instead of seeing that as a disaster,
Uh-huh.
they kind of flipped it and said, you know what, this is an opportunity.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So what'd they do?
Well, they actually partnered with another company called Corevist,
Okay.
and they totally rebuilt, like, from the ground up.
Yeah. And they built a whole new system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, within weeks of launching, they were processing over $1 million a week in transactions.
Get out.
Yeah.
No way.
I mean, it was really a remarkable turnaround.
Wow.
And it just shows how an event that, seems negative, like product sunsetting,
Right.
can actually be a real motivator,
Yeah.
and it pushes them to achieve things they might not have otherwise.
Right. It's like that push that you need,
Yeah, exactly.
to kind of get things moving in the right direction.
That's right.
So I guess the takeaway here is, when you see that end-of-life announcement, it doesn't always have to be, oh no.
Doom and gloom.
Right, doom and gloom, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a sign of exciting things to come.
Right. It's about adapting, innovating, and pushing forward.
Yeah.
And recognizing that change, even if it's hard, can actually be really good.
Yeah. So next time you get that email, that dreaded email that says, hey, this product, you love it, it's going away. Maybe don't panic.
Right.
Take a breath.
Think about the possibilities.
Yeah, think about what doors this could open.
Exactly.
You might be surprised.
Yeah, I think so.
Awesome.
Great discussion.
Thanks.
Yeah.